What do you do when you have an hour lunch break at work and there is an estate sale 3 miles away? You get in your car, you drive to the estate sale, and you find some great vintage items. Join me as I go to an estate sale of a hoarder. It was a little bit of a surprise when I first entered the sale, but after a little bit of digging, I found some great vintage items, including Mr. Tony the Tiger. So let's get to the sale and see what else I bought. Which house? Which house? I'm guessing it's probably this one. Oh, did all these tarps have stuff on it? All gone. These are all wet. These are wet. We might have to see how much he is.
There's a box over there. There's definitely a mouse in it, and I just can't stuff it through it. And there's stuff in there.
There's water everywhere.
I know.
I don't mind.
I know. You need a bottle. Well, if you find the bottom and not the top, then you pick yourself and find it. I know, but see, I have a bottom right now. There's the long one? Yeah.
Where do you even start? Image. This was a stife.
You know how many of these I have?
Marshalls.
You gonna buy them?
There's mold all over them.
Yep. Yeah, there you go.
What is this? Look at this water everywhere. This is awful.
Flip-flops were probably not the best idea.
These are soaking wet.
Just one thing.
And and so I tried to just make it. Tried to be like.
And now I'm putting the idea in my head that like, look.
Oops, sorry.
I never want to do this again. Yeah. So I told him to get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a car. No. There was a car with two bunnies. Imagine two bunnies facing each other, talking to each other. Identical. This one has a huge fight taken out here.
It's a toucan.
And the other one has a huge bite taken out here. And this one is saying, my butt hurts. And this one is saying, what?
Oh, Jeffrey.
Yeah, I think I saw that. What's this?
What a shame. She's soaking wet.
My brother, the
Kid over there.
I'm so curious with the about the couch, the section.
All right, I'll look at that.
But I'm sure, Rich will be up there.
Oh, yeah, but still, if that's just
Yeah.
you can't have it done right.
No, this is nice.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll call you
Somehow
today.
he's got, what's it got, what happened, so they know to call him now.
Oh, really? Did you do it? Wow, you guys. Yeah?
Oh, look how cute. I like that box.
Okay. Okay. You got it.
I don't need these.
I'm afraid to touch it.
Screws. What's that? A wrench. That's neat. Look. Jeez, give it a shot. Need oil? So how did this estate sale turn out? Not bad. It was better than I had expected. Walking up, I think I included it in my video, you could see the house. It was not in good shape at all. So that is why they had everything outside. I can't imagine having people go in the house because it looked like it shouldn't have even been gone into at all. The issue was they had put out everything the night before and they had a tent over it with tarps, but we had a really bad storm in this area last night, so I think the tarps kind of blew away and stuff was soaked. Even inside of the garage there must have been leaks in the ceiling because there were puddles. The bins of the paperback books, which some look like to be sci-fi, they were soaked. You know, you had to walk around puddles inside of the garage. The paper that had been on the tables that were outside, wet. Like it's sad to see that, because stuff essentially it does lose value, because there are some things that water doesn't affect and you can dry, and then there are other things that it's going to leave marks, and unless it's super desirable or rare, it really decreases in value. So if you were into planters, vintage planters, there were plenty of those there at the sale. Prices weren't too bad. Initially when I walked around, I was like, ugh, it's all right. There wasn't really anything that I was so excited about there, but I took my time, I walked around some more, and then I started digging through some bins that were under the tables. When I'd asked how much they were asking for the items, the woman told me, oh, those were supposed to be brought out the next day of the sale. And you always kind of want to be, you always want to be nice, not kind of, you want to be nice. So I said, oh, all right, if they're not for sale today. And she's like, no. She goes, they're out, you know, I'll see what price we can get for you. So what did I get? I made a bundle deal. Initially, the man that was pricing was telling me like individual prices as I sat the things down. I'm like, well, I have a big bag here. I go, so, you know, maybe we could see what the bundle price would be. And he was nice, and yard work. Of course, yard work. I cannot win. I apologize again, but I don't have any other time to record this recap, so we're gonna suffer through the dental drill yard work that is going on. Anyway, I started putting out the stuffed animals that I purchased, and he was like, he wanted to charge me $5 a piece. And that's when I said, well, I have a whole bunch of other things, so can we bundle? And we did bundle, and he was fair. So I'll go through some of the items. Tony, the tiger, he's in rough shape, but I mean, come on, he's Tony the tiger. So we got him. Poor Jeffrey. I can't. Where's Mr. Crow? I'd rather hear him any day of the week. So we have Jeffrey. This is Mighty Star. There's no date on it, but considering the fate of Toys R Us, you know, this is definitely older. He's in decent shape. Some staining, but I'm sure there's still collectibles out there for good old Jeffrey. I picked up this guy. He has the rubber face. It's a little bad. He's marked RP Company on the back, and he reminded me of the Scarecrow from The Wizard of Oz, and so that's why I bought him. Dig'em, corn smacks, not corn pops, something smacks, isn't it? I know he's for cereal. That's what I remember. No tags. A lot of these were sold as the patterns, and then the people would fill them. That was also an option. So he's in pretty nice shape. All of these I'm going to put out on my porch, make sure it's not going to rain, so that they can get a good airing out. We have Fonzie. He's pretty neat. And then the Fonz on the back. He actually has his tag, body made in Taiwan. 1976 Paramount Pictures. Happy days. We have this guy. It's Luge Chiquita. So there's stickers on here. And then his tag, he was made in the USA. And it's I bought this because it has 1980 Olympic Winter Games. I didn't look him up. There were some of the animals that I did look up because I didn't know what they were going to charge me, and I didn't, you know, want the guy to be like, oh, they're $15 a piece. No. But I did not look him up. I figured, I'll just take a gamble. This I thought was neat. It's Winston cigarettes. So it's fabric sewn together for a dog. Oh, you can see the little repair. I'm guessing this was handmade, homemade. They must have liked their smokes. So, you know, vintage cigarette, especially Marlboro, those items do really well. So what this guy will bring, I have no idea. A New York Yankees. I had to think. Yankees, right? Not Mets. Yankees. Little stuffed guy. I saw him and I thought, a little vintage baseball. That does well. He's cute. So why not? Aunt Sarah, which is a pancake house. I did not know that. I knew that it had to do something with cooking because of her little bowl there. So I purchased her too. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 if we include Jeffrey. Good old Elsie the cow. I did look her up after I bought her, and there were some decent sales. She does have some issues, but her face is still in really nice condition, so she was good. That's mine. We have Eat It All Cone Kids, still in the original packaging, made in Taiwan. I did look him up because I wasn't sure. You know, I try to look it up discreetly on my phone. Because I guess I want to be somewhat respectful, and also I feel that if they know that you're looking at eBay prices for everything, they might raise the prices up. So these do okay, not too bad. Mr. Toucan Sam Fruit Loops. That's probably my second favorite cereal. Lucky Charms is my favorite. I love Lucky Charms. So we have Toucan Sam. That's 11. This guy, good old Carvel Fudgy the Whale, even has his tag and distributed by the Carvel company. I did look him up, and he was selling, the one sold for I think $35. So I knew going in when I was going to get the price from the man that I had at least $35 back. So I could judge what I could spend off this $35. And I always like to do that because, you know, going in, if you know that you can make an X amount of money on a few items, you can judge how much you want to spend. And so that was it for the animals. He initially said $5 a piece. And I was like, ugh. Then I got everything else. So there are 12 animals here. Those, and with all the other things that I purchased, which I'm going to show, I paid $50 for everything. So I've made back at least my money, half my money on Mr. Fudgy here. The Fonz does well. I looked him up. Toucan Sam. You know, it's all about condition, but I think, you know, with people that collect these old stuffed animals, if it's one that they need and there's not any others listed on eBay, they're more likely to purchase, even if there might be some rough spots. Let's see. This little guy, which is a Stife, he does have the button in the ear. You can see. He's missing the little ribbon. You can see where it was attached. He is kind of rough, but he's so cute. He does have an issue here as well. But, you know, to find a nice Stife, cute little guy, why not is the theme. Why not? This, the International Exposition in, I can't pronounce that, Japan, from 1985. I didn't look at everything in the box because I thought this would be neat. So the little space bag. Look how cute this is. It's like a suction cup paper lantern. Oh my gosh, that's great. Look how cute that is. We have this little guy, another suction cup little mascot figure. We have all sorts of goodies in here. Look at this little guy, a little penguin, skier, sticker. This bag is filled. I didn't even look at all this. Ooh, a nice pin. This is neat. This is like Hello Kitty-ish. Make your wish come true and happiness smile at you. It says on the back with the date. Another keychain. And that's it. This bag is full of all sorts of neat goodies. This is really cute. I like that. Again, I did look this up and there were coins that sold, so we'll see. Who wouldn't want this cute suction cup paper lantern though? I mean, come on now. I picked up 2 linens. I think you could see this really cute. It's like a light kind of blanket. Lovely pattern. Just needs a light washing. I actually didn't even open it up to see if it had any holes, but love the colors. You can never go wrong with the vintage greens, like a mint green and then the yellows. I'm a big fan of those colors. I also purchased the child's blanket because why not? Look how cute. It has the bears, the puppies on it, the rabbits. That rabbit is really cute. It has some staining, but no rips. There's some little tears, but again, a nice, light, delicate wash. You maybe even hand wash. Use some OxyClean to get out the stains, and good as new. I bought this forklift operator pin. No idea why. Why not? Why not? And one thing that I did love that you saw. So this is kind of like the Pixie Elves. It's a made in Japan, New York, made in Japan, Herman Pecker elf, and his items do really well. I don't know, I have one that is similar in size, but the body is actually like a, I don't want to say a chime, it's a noise maker. So you ring it and it, or you know, jiggle it up and down and it does make noise. This face will be super easy to clean. I'm not worried about that at all. There might be some staining with the pink. I'm guessing maybe some of the red dye was on there, but you know, there is some condition to this. But someone that collects this brand and they don't have this, they would definitely want this little guy. So cute. And I bought this because I love the graphics. I will keep this for myself. This is a saltwater taffy box from Seaside Heights, New Jersey, made by William Burkhart. I used to go to Seaside Heights all the time. I used to go to Seaside Park Beach. I haven't been there in a while. I would so like to get back to the beach, hopefully. But I just love the look of it. It does have some, obviously some wear. The inside of the box is, but no, it was holding some kind of like, you know, nuts and bolts, which is what they did back then. And you have an extra box, and you're a guy and you have a garage, you fill it up with things. So I kept that. And of course, I got myself a moose. The lady, when I was buying it, one of the ladies that was working the sale, she's like, "Oh, I'm so glad you picked him up. I felt so sad for him." And I told her, I'm like, yeah, I run into that problem a lot. I feel sad for these things, and so I bring them home. So he just needs a cleaning. He's plastic. It says China, Imperial China, 1985. So he's not super old, but I like his look. You know, maybe I can use him in some kind of thing for my channel. And it's maybe the first not old. I'm older than him actually. Moose that I found out in the wild, so to speak. So I had to grab him. So yeah, so I got everything for $50, which I thought was a great deal, considering I can make my money. I will make my money back on probably 2 of the stuffed animals, and then this guy, I do expect him to do well despite some of the issues, just because he still has his label and he is like a pixie kneeling elf on the shelf. So yeah, it was a good estate sale. I'm glad that I went. You know, the people there were nice. They worked with me on the price, which was appreciated. It was a good sale. I wish, you know, the rain would have held off, because then I think a lot more of their items would have sold and people wouldn't have passed up on them. But at the same time, you know, you can't control Mother Nature. So hopefully they do well at their second day of the sale. I won't be going to that. I will be going to the flea market and maybe some yard sales. We'll see. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this estate sale adventure with me. It's been a while since I went to a good estate sale, so it was nice to get out and see what was out there. Be sure to stay tuned for more videos. Like, subscribe as always, and I hope that you all have a great day, a great weekend, and I will see you all next time.